Earlier this year we had an R380 in which was in a bit of a mess. You can see here. Oh, that didn't sound healthy, did it? What the heck was that? Right, let's see what was in the bottom of this box. Oh, well, that's not good, is it? Oh. I think the oil pump's seen better days. And those rings are off this collar here. Those split collars. That was the thing that was rattling on. Oh my goodness, it's had some bashing about. No wonder it wouldn't go into fifth. What the hell is this here? Is that the front bearing? Oh yeah, that was the front bearing. So you can see what's happened. It's chewed up that. It's quite a surprise, isn't it? I think the front housing's alright, but look at that. I don't think we can weld that up. Well, that's the bearings fitted. I've got a couple of new bearings in there. So you can see down here, there's the primary motion shaft, and this is the one we've repaired, and it lined up absolutely beautifully. There's no problems at all, so I'm kind of confident in that casing. So the next thing is we're up to build up our shafts. Now I did get quite a good used lay shaft. This was out of a Td5. But of course you never know really what things are like, so what we did was, again, down to JP's machine shop, it was all stripped down, and then we ran it in his lathe to see if it was true, and it was pretty damn good. So I have no problems there. I fitted the bearing onto the main shaft here, so now we're going to put the casing on our stand here so that we can set up the shimming. I think we might just do the lay shaft one first. So I've been playing around with this box and having a look and see what we can repair, and as we go on through this video you'll see, because it's all a mix and match because it's different days I'm doing different things, but you can see the process of what we've been up to. So we've got the new cover on the bottom end of here. We've got that from Ashcroft's. This bit goes on here, and then we set it on the stand, and yesterday I messed about most of the day trying to get this right. It was a complete mess. The gears were locking up when I pressed them together, and I couldn't fathom it out until I took apart the synchros. Can you see how they've worn? What they've done is, I think, well, this one as well was worn in here. So always things to watch, because when you put those together, they were tightening up. It would just tighten up. So that was one that was damaged, and there's another one. Can you see the damage on it? Kaput. So that had a lot of head scratching going through my second-hand part bits, but I've managed to get enough to get this working again. We've got another lay shaft. I put that in the box. Now I'm trying a different technique this time. Instead of using a dial gauge, which a lot of people get a bit, worried about and things like that, I've set this in the. I've inverted the box and put the plate at the top. So what we do is we drop the main shaft in, then put the cover on, because now we've got good access to the shims. I think you're supposed to do it this way actually, but then put dial gauges on it. I have to use a step because the door's so small. But with this one, what I did, you can hear that's the synchro rings rattling. But instead of instead of putting a dial gauge on that and feeling what my shaft's like, you know how you do, I did something a little bit different. I went under here and I moved this shaft, and I kept adding shims till all the play had gone out of here, and it feels absolutely superb. Now the bearings are recycled bearings. I was going to say used, but they're recycled. And same with the synchro rings, because sometimes I keep rings, and you can see these are in beautiful condition when somebody's already had a go at a box and they've bought me a kit. So over the years I've gathered an awful lot of stuff up. So today I've already shimmed up the lay shaft, and fortunately because we're using the original casing but a different lay shaft but with different bearings, I put the original shim back in and it was beautiful. There was no lift on it at all. It turned beautiful. There was no cranking around like that. So I'm really happy with that. I'm over the moon with that. I think that, what is it? Can they listen? You leave the synchros chattering about, that's normal. But yeah, so what we're going to do today, well, I'll go back down here. Look. Just found a handy step I can put down. What we're going to do today is flip this over again and then take out the parts, take out all the parts, and then put the two gears together and start to build this box up, because there's nothing else really we can do to this. I mean, yeah, no, I've got to put the selector fork in. Oh, talking of which, what's it like? That's a fit. I'll have to have a look and see if I've got any more selector forks. Well, naturally I haven't got any. After experiencing what these R380s are like to get into second gear, with these being a little bit undersized, I don't really want to take that risk. And this gear unfortunately is scrapped because it's worn out in here. When I opened it up it was like grinding paste. But the shaft was really good. I was kind of impressed at that. And what I'm not impressed is that I haven't got any selectors, so I'm going to have to just put this back onto the floor again and wait for those parts. Now, one of the things that was concerning, as you all know, and I want to try and get to the bottom of this, bad second gear changes. It seems to be so common, but maybe I might be onto something. And what I did was I took the plunge and I bought a brand new aftermarket, you couldn't afford a Land Rover one, selector fork for. How does it measure up against the original? Well, stand by for some surprises. Now, got our caliper out, we're going to measure this here. This here, the pads here, that's 7.17. This pad here is 7.05, and the middle pad here is 5.9. Now, according to Dave Ashcroft, there should be 7.5. The tolerance is, I think it's 0.5 millimetre. So this is the new one. Are we ready? 7.57. 7.59, and in the middle 7.5. Ah, is this the solution? I have here a synchro hub off a 5th and reverse. I'm using this one because it's the same gap, and of course you don't use 5th and reverse all that much, so there's a good chance it's not worn. See, logical captain. Here is the fork, but we're not going to try this yet. We're going to try this one. Now, this shaft is well supported in the gearbox, so that's not going to move. That's not going to go like that. The bushing on here, inside here, the machining part, is always pretty good. That's not a problem. But when I put this on here, now obviously I'm rocking the shaft, but imagine if it was the opposite way around and trying to select that synchro. Is it the synchros that's tipping and crunching? Could be, because when I try this one, a new one, made in India, goodness gracious me, that'll get me banned. Try that on. Oops. Lovely. Absolutely perfect. Look at that. You don't want it any more, you don't want it any less. You want something to get oil around. So is that the answer? We've been changing synchros, hubs and things like this and gears, and it isn't that. I think it's the forks. Yeah, I've been doing an experiment on this with a selector fork. So if you we'll put it into neutral. Alright. Okay. Right. So put it into first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And see how it gets torquey, eh? So first and second's always the bugger on these. That's it. We've done reverse. We've tried reverse, and that works. Okay. The reason is that I can't, like I'll say to the viewer there, that I can't get this on because this is a Td5. I can't get it onto my test bench because it's too long. It's not because it's too long is a problem. It's because I can't support the end of here, so we have to do it with the drill. So that's that.